Folks, welcome to race number 4 of the Bwoah Racing League Season 5. I'm Sarthak and alongside me is Davin in the comms box as we head to Imola. And Davin, right off the bat, Imola, what do you think?
Oh, one of the nicest thing Codys have done in a long time, and looking on the details on this track is so realistic, and like every curve, every bump on the track looks like he's been replicated quite well, and it's a classic track, The real life drivers like it, the game. The gamers like it as well. We like it, so it's gonna be quite a treat today, given that we only have like one long DRS straight here to make overtakes. So it's a struggle between two different setups. You want to go overtaking, or do you want to just go for sector 2 and increase speed? We're about to see that as drivers are heading out for their quali laps.
Yeah, the first driver out on track is the likes of Dup, our most recent race winner out here in the Bwoah Racing League, making a name for himself this season as a rookie as well. He matches KDB and pace as well, and I think along with him, we've got another driver out on track. It's Sick Nig as well.
Yep, as you mentioned, that Derp, who was the winner of the previous race, the Australian GP, and picking a first win under his belt. That's definitely a confidence booster going into this race and the rest of the season as well. And Baby Shumi, is it? Was it Baby Shumi? I'm kind of getting lost here. I just came back from a long trip, Sarthak.
Well, on the topic of Baby Shumi, he's 6th in the Drivers' Championship. He finds himself 6th. He's someone we saw underperform, in fact, in Season 4 as a rookie, and he's come out kicking in Season 5. And it goes to show that the new points system we've established with all 20 positions being awarded points is clearly working out. If you manage to finish races in the Bwoah Racing League, it counts for something.
Yep. And my bad earlier, Sarthak, it was Signic that you were talking about. Yep. Baby Shumi's Mercedes teammate here, so riding on board with him just in time. It's the first one to start his lap into turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. Very technical section over here and very easy to invalidate, and Signic does pretty much that, invalidates his lap on turn number 3. It's a very technical part of the circuit. Pretty much the whole part of the circuit, the whole track is full of this circuit. It's full of these corners where if you nail it, you gain time. If you don't nail it, you're going to lose a lot of time and invalidate your laps. So Signic becomes the first victim of this track per se.
Yeah, something to point out, of course, UK on the intermediates, it's kind of a tradition for him to come out in qualifying on the intermediates. I think he's lost his front wing as well in some part of the track. He likes to say he's laying down rubber ahead of his own fast lap.
Yep, it's a known esports I would say strategy, or even just a precautionary installation lab that they do on intermediates, so that they test the equipment, everything is up to speed. Their wheels, the force feedback, the controllers are up to speed and working, and also it lays down a bit of a rubber on the track, so it's a win-win so for everyone. And by going out on the inters, you're pretty much saving yourself one lap on any set of tires that you're on. So UK perhaps taking inspiration from the recent esports events and going on the inters to test out his equipment.
Yeah,
it looks like he'll be out very soon again, isn't he?
Yeah, but lap times being set as we speak. Derp fastest out there, horning his teammate, will start a fast lap of his own, sure enough, soon, or is already on a fast lap, just started one. We haven't seen Horning out on track too often. We've seen him come out only once before. That's quite a competitive team there over at the in-game Alfa Romeo team.
Yep, and currently P1 and 4, but P2 and 6 as we speak, as Envy sets the fastest lap, the Ferrari in his home race. So setting the pace for now. The Ferraris and AlphaTauris are pretty much the home teams here. And speaking of home teams, I think the other Ferrari of Harry Rocks as well puts it up into P4. So
yeah, but we had an incident. Yeah, but we've had an incident where Man Marquez had a collision with Vex, and Vex has a 5-place grid penalty ahead of the race, and Man Marquez is out of the qualifying session. And I saw a Red Bull with no front wing as well, so I don't really know what's happening out on track. Probably get the map out as well.
Yep, it might have been Drunken Monkey who is seemingly struggling to get through Aqua Minerali
Oh,
here. And there's some more incidents in
yeah.
turn 3 there.
In Sector 1, in fact, I just saw on our screens that the Alpine VIX 356 was in the center of the track, and funnily enough, the tire barriers were spinning in the side. But anyway, comes as no surprise. But yeah, two drivers have retired from the qualifying session already. 18 drivers remain. We got a full racing grid out on track at Imola.
Yep, interesting to see. Nice to see as well. Everyone turning up for Imola. New track as well. Everyone just loves to grind out this track day in, day out. There's never a dull day when there's a race in Imola. Let's hope the race as well has something interesting. Perhaps a bit of weather to come into play. Or is it going to be a full dry race? Only time will tell us as the drivers have that info, not the comms box.
Yeah, I mean, a few minutes into shock qualifying, and now I've already seen three cars with no front wings. Be it for whatever reason, it's a bit disturbing when you see it so early on into a race weekend. But as Vex goes into the pits, let's probably talk about the fact that Big Man Joe managed to get a podium after post-race penalties last race. Do you think he'll be as competitive as he was last race, this race around?
Yep, definitely. I think pace-wise, he was almost with the top teams, top drivers on that race. And but the most important thing that went his way was keeping it consistent and clean throughout the race, and without any penalties to his name. That's what really won him that third spot on the podium. So Big Man Joe currently in P3 as well, setting a 115.3. Is looking good to repeat his consistent runs and perhaps steal another podium or even the win. So he's looking good. This season has gone over in a good start for him.
Yeah, definitely. And Sicknick's back on the wheel. So we might just see him be as competitive as ever here at Imola. We've brought up the Ferrari boys. We might as well bring up the team that's running second in the constructors as we speak. It's the McLaren boys, Kuberabi and Gouts, who are out on track.
Yep, surprisingly both on the mediums and making it work in P9 and 10 for the time being. The mediums would definitely be a good tire to start on and take it long into the race and then bolt on the softs at the end. And just go for the fastest lap and get some overtakes done. Perhaps these McLaren boys have prepared something for us. And judging by their, by the action for going on the mediums here, I'd say it's a pretty good shot that it's going to be a full dry race, or even majority of the first half of the race is going to be dry.
All right. Look at the gap between Envy and Big Man Joe, 400ths of a second. If my Formula One vocab is appropriate enough.
Yep, 400ths there. Nothing much really. You can gain or lose that amount of time by having a good entry or good exit out of a corner as well. So these two drivers so far looking good on their time. And speaking of that, Envy now is on his outlap, will respond to Big Man Joe's time. So I think every driver here has a good chance of setting at least 2 to 3 laps here. So Envy once again on the soft tires. So his strategy is pretty much locked in for the time being.
Yeah,
Uni outliers.
He's probably looking at KDB and thinking probably should do the same because he's on outlap on softs as well. Both of them seem to be set to start their fast laps together almost. But yeah, 1 minute 15.082, the time to beat, as I think KDB will be the first one out of the final corner to start his fast lap. Let's stay on board with him.
Yep, here we go. DRS wide open on this super long pit straight, which has a few kinks here and there. Stays close to the wall and then close to the left and then bring back the car to the right. Around 75-meter break and throw the car into turn 1 at the Tamburello chicane. 1, 2 and 3. Nicely executed. A little bit conservative, but that will do for now. Turn 4. Throws the car in, gets the car rotated within track limits, and sector 1 lights up purple. KDB with a 24.2 in sector 1, 2 tenths faster than his previous lap. Tosa happen, a good traction out of there, coming up to Piratella the next turn, throw the car left, and then on the throttle once again. There's no time to brake, and then down into Aqua Minerali. Brakes just nicely, a bit cautious, onto the curbs, runs the curbs, and coming up next is the Variante Villeneuve here. The Villeneuve chicane throws the car over the curbs, a little bit wide, lights up the purple sector as well once again. KDB here on a roll, down into Rivazza 1 and Rivazza 2. Let's see if he gets this right. Gets it just nicely within the track limits as well. Rivazza 2 looks like a good lap incoming, and will we see a purple from KDB? And unfortunately, that's not a purple last sector, but it's good enough to put him into P3 with a 15.2, and he drops down to P3 as Derp now takes over in P1, sets of 14.5. Envy now, the next driver to react. I think he has gone on a slow lap. He might be starting his lap next soon. Sartek, what do you think of Envy's lap? Is he sandbagging? He's really not on pace today.
I mean, he's got time to improve on his lap for sure, but maybe what comes as a surprise for him is probably that Derp ended up beating that lap time of his rather than KDB. I'm pretty sure he's got his eyes on the board just as much as we have, and he's got his race engineer as well, who's the team principal of the team, Ron, in his ears too. So yeah, it's okay for now, but again, there's a lot of time to short qualifying left. Also, probably a good time to mention that Wex's 5-place grid penalty as Envy runs off into the gravel. I'm pretty sure this won't be his best lap time. Wex's 5-place grip penalty will be removed, and we'll have a custom lobby ahead of the race.
Yep, that would be great news to the drivers who are possibly starting on the softs in the top 10. They will just give them a lap or two, tires that are fresher and take longer into the race. Perhaps that might just play the difference between the top 10 and the bottom 10 runners today.
Yeah, we've had a retirement as well. Hornings ended up retiring from the qualifying session as well. I wonder what happened there. Hopefully we'll figure it out soon enough. But his teammate, fastest out on track. I'm pretty sure Horning's a bit disappointed.
Yep, and while Horning might be disappointed, Derp, I think he's pretty happy with that 5/10 of a gap to Envy after that wonderful lap which we unfortunately missed. But let's not miss it probably on the third time around. So Derp looking like it's going to set some purple sectors once again. But let's not count out Envy, Big Man Joe, KDB, maybe even Signig, who's looking very close to the top 4 today.
Yeah, and we gotta talk about UT, right? Like, he doesn't disappoint. You need to remember, when the drivers' auction happened, we didn't expect him to be this high up to bring this much value to the team. Clearly, in the constructors fight, he's gonna be incredibly valuable for that team. As long as KDB can keep performing as he did in Season 4.
Yep, it's very, very important to have two equally performing drivers to gun for the championship, as we have seen time and time in real life as well, like with the likes of Team Mercedes and even their esports series with the Team Red Bull. So KDB and UT, if they form a really good partnership, I think the championship is definitely in contention for them this season. Speaking of UT, goes through turn 123 safely, and a lot of traffic in his way as well. Not the most delightful thing to have, but he navigates through safe and sound, and 1/10 up on his first sector. Those are happy, stay tight. Lights it up purple. Interesting there from UT. Let's see if he can keep up the pace for the next sector as well.
I think he should be able to. Meanwhile, if he manages to beat his teammates lap time, that would be great. A confidence booster of sorts for UT ahead of the race itself. 4 minutes left to short qualifying. Derp fastest on track, but I must mention something a little bit later on as UT enters sector 3 as we speak.
3/10 up.
Definitely,
Last 2 corners.
He's definitely going to do better, that's for sure.
Ooh, very close to the track limits there, but still valid lap time. And onto the line does not improve. Okay, that's surprising.
Seems like
did not improve on his lap.
I think sector 3 didn't quite go his way, did it?
Yep, he might have lost some time over there. It looks like UT though is going for it again. Perhaps we'll come back to him in a short while.
Yeah.
Maybe, let's see. Some other drivers are getting ready to go for their laps here.
Yeah, Drunken Monkey just started a fast lap. Let's go straight to him. He did perform pretty well back in Portimao, put himself in the top 10 in qualifying. Hopefully he'll be trying to do the same this time around. He's got his teammate up there in third fastest. Hopefully he can line it up right alongside him maybe.
Yep. Plenty of traffic up ahead for Drunken Monkey as well. Hopefully that doesn't distract him. Two McLarens are there side by side. I think there's a RB Farrello in the Alpine pulling over, letting everyone through. Big Man Joe, Drunken Monkey now seems to have abandoned his lap after the poor run through Sector 2. So Drunken Monkey will be looking for another lap after this.
Yep. And over at the in-game AlphaTauri team, Gambler and a rookie, his debut here as a higher driver this time around is Streeter. He's in the pits as we speak, but Gambler's out on track as he comes along Sector 3, gets a good lap time in, goes only a little bit faster, 15th fastest out on track.
Yep, I'm riding on board with Dub and Envy. Dub has abandoned his lap now. Envy into the second sector, just marginally down on his best lap, but he runs wide at the Villeneuve chicane, and that will disrupt his run into Rivazza 1 and 2. So Envy might be looking to go for another cooldown lap and then start once again. Dub, on the other hand, is getting ready at Rivazza 1 now, coming out of there into Rivazza 2. Good exit there, looks like it from him, and he's looking to extend his lead into P1 with that. Let's see. Let's ride on board with him this time. Let's not miss his lap. And perhaps he can give us a nice little treat on a good lap at Imola.
Yeah.
Into turn 1. Clunks the curb at turn 1. Misses at turn 2. Gets it done nicely into turn 3. And up next is turn 4. Turn 4 and 5. Nicely done as well. No track limits, however, there. Safe and sound through that. 2/10 down on his best lap, so even Dub can't improve on his best time so far. But sector 2 and 3 is where gains can be made. And coming up to Pertella, throws the car in on the throttle once again. Very aggressive there. And then down again into Aqua Minerali. And he invalidates his lap. That's the end for Dub, I'm guessing. So there will not be any more run unless he is fueled for it.
Yep.
Signing is retired. What happened there?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I think he's ended up retiring in the pits itself. I don't see him out on track. Streeter's trying his best to wrap up that out lap just in time to set a fast lap before quali ends, and I think he'll be able to do it. He's coming around the final corner as we speak. We got Envy as well on a fast lap, but he'll be able to start another one as well. I think he's gonna just make it.
Nope, and we pulls into the pits. Looks like that's no more fuel for him. Dub though, looks like he is prepared. He is fueled up for at least 2 or 3 runs over here and is going for another one here.
Yeah, he's right behind Streeter, his debut, and hopefully can go up the order. Envy wraps up his qualifying session. He's second fastest, probably not where he'd ideally want to start, as Streeter abandons that, and it's a collision as well. He's crashed out, he's lost his front left, and I think that'll be taken to the stewards as well, because I think it was Dub who was on his fast lap right behind.
Yep, both drivers unfortunately on fast laps incidents, left, right and center hitting each other, so stewards will definitely have a look at that. But as qualifying is coming to an end, it looks like Dub might have just steal that P1 with his first lap that he did. And Envy there might have just sealed P2 as well. Big Man Joe was on a lap, lights purple sector 2. And it's looking like he wants to steal the pole away. Let's ride on board with him running down into Rivazza 1. Can he get the braking right here? It's very important not to run too wide. Runs on the curb.
Yeah, as we say, that sector 3, he comes around, but KDB just went second fastest, so can he get it done? I highly doubt it. Or will he prove me wrong? Yes, he will. He's second fastest. He can't get pole, but he will line up right next to Dub.
Yep, and Dub and Big Man Joe lining up P1 into KDB, and Envy will line up P3 and 4. The Ferrari pair on 4 and 5. That's a really good showing from these boys here. And well, for a moment there, I think, if I'm not wrong, I think I saw a name of Drunken Monkey flash up, getting disqualified from the session for running the wrong way. Let's hope that gets fixed for the lobby restart, and Drunken Monkey will start at the position that he wants to. And any other drivers that are on their final lap, it looks like that just might be the end of quali, folks.
Yep. That's the end of quality. That wraps it up. Folks, we'll be right back with a custom lobby. And we'll quickly jump to that. Yep, folks, we are back as the custom lobby is happening as we speak. Turns out I actually got an opportunity to go and talk to Drunken Monkey, Dalvin, and turns out, he was trying to go off track, and then his AI took control to rejoin, and one thing led to the other, and you can already imagine.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I guess the game just doing the funny stuff, and unfortunately, Drunken Monkey might have been caught in that. Luckily, though, new lobby is back up and
Yep.
will be underway very, very soon. I can't wait, man. Imola is going to be a nice one. And I'm just wondering as well, what's the weather going to be? It looks like it's all dry, isn't it?
Yep.
Looking at these lobby settings over here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be dry. And I think something to talk about right before the race start is the fact that some of the drivers who we'd seen, in Portimao, at least in the top 5, are not there anymore. And some drivers have come out unusually quicker. To think Envy and Inox24 are lining up side by side, almost. I think one behind the other, P4 and P5.
A little bit of training definitely
Yep.
goes a long way, and given that it's a new track, not everyone has played this track in perhaps any other game titles, but it definitely feels different on an F1 game. So it's just a matter of how much time you have put into this track, and how much you have actually practiced or worked on the setup, or even the race strategy. So let's not just discount them out of the race just yet, because as we always know, starting first doesn't mean you will end first unless it's Monaco and you keep it out of the barriers. This is Imola, so it's pretty open, a classic track where you can overtake and go side by side along the whole pit straight, and maybe even through some of the tighter corners. So maybe, just maybe, starting at the slightly behind might be a good thing to avoid incidents at the start.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. Kuberabi starts in the midfield instead of in the top 5 like he usually does. So clearly he'll have a climb of his own. I'm rather curious to see where Abi Ferrello qualified. I might have just missed that. But Drunken Monkey actually ended up qualifying P11, so great for him as Big Man Joe lines up on the first row, in fact.
Yep, and also, folks, just a reminder, because it is a custom lobby, so everyone will get a fresh set of tires to start on. Of course, the top 10 will have to start on the tires that they qualified on, and 11 onwards, as always, they will have free choice of tires. It just plays a little bit more into the hands of the top 10, because they will not be starting on worn soft tires here. So that might just give them a little bit of strategy advantage for maybe putting off the overcut or undercut 1 or 2 laps more, and maybe this might just stir up some drama in the pit lane in the coming time.
Yeah, rather curious how this will end. Will we have a new race winner? I really hope we do. It'll be great. Season 5 would have started off perfectly. It has started off perfectly already. 24 races, and with only 2 races legitimately done, with Bahrain obviously a rerun coming in.
Sorry for dragging you here.
No worries.
Drunken Monkey.
Huh?
Drunken Monkey.
Tight between Merc and Red Bull. It's pretty much like real life. Everyone is pretty excited to see Red Bull to at least take the Constructors' Championship. Drivers, though, I think Jan Opel is definitely one of the drivers running away with the championship currently. Lucas Blakely is the other one to watch. He is definitely mounting a good challenge on the championship leader this season. So leave us some thoughts. Who do you think will be possibly contending for the Drivers' Championship, or who might be just the dark horse to take it maybe till the last race and snatch it away from the current leaders? Let us know.
Yes.
And Sartek, welcome back.
Yeah. Also, to mention, when you brought up F1 Esports and standings, is the fact that even in our own league's constructors standings, the top four are immensely close. I think Ferrari is leading the constructors' title fight, with McLaren close behind with a difference of only 1 point. And the two teams behind them are separated by 3 points each. So, yeah, it's an awfully close battle, and I love that it is.
Yep, let's hope that continues till the end of the season. We have a pretty much a full calendar, full race calendar lined up for you guys. And it's only what around four of it, around four or five of it. And it's just it's gonna be a long season here, but it's gonna wrap up very very soon once we are at it. Time just flies. And as we jump into the new lobby, let's get ready. Sarthak, who do you think is going to snatch the win here in the Ferrari's home race? What do you think?
How about we leave this alone and make zero predictions, so all the drivers can't come back to us and point fingers saying commentators curse. Let's leave. Let's leave it like that.
Let's spare the curse for one race and have a good
race.
But
since I got a chance to get into the Aston Martin garage, if you could say so, with the likes of their team principal Millen, KDB, and UT, they're rather surprised by big man Joe's pace. KDB even questioned whether he was on the control of.
Well, perhaps it might just be that white bull livery, maybe just giving them a bit of a psychological and pace advantage. But we know that's not the real thing, given that the cars are running on equal performance over here. And speaking of performance, I think everyone here is looking like they are poised for a different strategic options. KDB though is looking like he may be starting on the medium, so I'm not sure if the message was given that anyone could start on a different set of tires. But KDB and Mr. Vex, the only two outliers in the top 10 to be starting on the mediums. Now, as we speak of that, KDB has switched to the softs. So let's hope Mr. Vex and UK get the message as well, because the top 10 are supposed to start on the tires that they qualified on, unless there is a different rule in place, which I'm not aware of. Sarthak?
No, definitely not, Dalvin. There is no different rule, and they will be penalized if they think they can get away with it. So I'm pretty sure they're well aware, the likes of UK and Wex. So hopefully, anyway, the formation lap is underway. Let's bring out a bit of data point out on the screens for the folks watching. Also, 6 of you are watching. Make sure you drop in the chat. Who do you think will come out of turn 1 leading this race?
Well, Sarthak, I think we may have a problem here with Harry Rocks here, who is starting on the medium. So unfortunate for the Ferrari driver, might just get set back towards the end of the race with some time penalties probably on his way. However, though, he is running on an alternate strategy. Perhaps he can make that work towards the end of the race and claw back some of the time that will be lost due to penalties, unless we are not aware if he has set a time on the mediums. We'll have to check back and we will let you know. Formation lap underway.
I really hope that formation lap takes forever, because my game just said GG. But yeah, I'll be back soon enough. Maybe walk us through what's happening, and what do you think into turn 1? Because to be honest, do you think he'll be able to hold on to the race lead up for long?
Oh, it's a pretty short run compared to most other tracks. If you get into the lead, if you're in the top 2, you can definitely survive turn 1 being the first on the track as well. And unless you get someone else behind you gets a tow along that pretty long straight. I think Dub can pretty much save himself and get into the lead into turn 1. Let's hope he gets a good start here. And same for Big Man Joe, KDB and Envy as well, who are on the softs as well at the start. Harry though, he might be just struggling a little bit for grip at the start. Signing UT, Mr. X, Baby Shumi all right behind him on the soft tires. The rest P10 onwards to P20 all running the medium tires, except for Gameplay in P16 and Mad Marquez at the end of the grid in P20 running the softs. So two different strategies running through all the drivers' mind. What will happen as the drivers line up on the grid We will find out shortly.
Yeah, this is going to be close. I'm also getting into the game as we speak, so hopefully I make it just in time for the race start. Hopefully co-masters are kind to me, and yes, seems like they are. 5 lights are on.
Yep, and Marquez is finally on the line, brings up the rear of the grid, and we will have 5 laps coming up soon. Sarthak, let's go.
Yeah, you'll have to take it. I got nothing on my screen, Davin.
Alright, waiting for the lights as well. As always, the lights are not coming on just yet. And
I'm in.
Here we go. Everybody's ready. 5 lights. 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go. So Dub gets a pretty good start. KDB gets a jump start. Gets into P1 though. Dub might just be looking to preserve his lead there. Big Man Joe Envy gets up into P4 as well. Harry Rocks now dropping down like a stone on the mediums as well. Signic into turn 2 entry has some trouble keeping some position. Harry Rock keeps dropping more position. Vista Vex to take advantage of that.
Yeah, clearly, and in the midfield, quite the jumble as Kuberabi goes down the order. So does Baby Shumi, it seems like. But yeah, the top runners have kept it firm, with KDB leading this race and picking up that drive-through penalty for that jump start. But yeah, Irox 24, the driver to lose out the most at the start. He's down in P8.
Yep, KDB with that drive-through will have 3 laps at least before he has to serve that. So he might be just looking to either pull a gap or just serve it in lap 1 itself. Let's hope.
Oh, we got a crash.
He takes, and
we got a crash. It's a
It is Harry Rocks.
Yeah.
It is Harry Rocks. He has gone out and a VSC has been called out. VSC is out, which means drivers will not be able to, accelerate at full speed in this first lap. KDB though on the lead. He will not be able to serve his penalty as well, which means he has to carry on for another lap. That's so he does not make a mistake of boxing. And yes, he is on the track in P1. Derp preserves his lead for now, I'm assuming, after KDB will eventually serve his penalty. Big Man Joe and Envy will, lining up in the second row now. Sydney gets up into P5. Mr. Vex brings up P6. UT in P7. And the lead medium runner UK is in P8, followed by the rookie Streeter, also driving the AlphaTauri, which is their home race as well, up in P9. Baby Shumi making some big strides up into P10 on that soft tires, making some good gains. VSC still out on track, probably a few more seconds before the VSC is gone. Let's see if any drivers could take advantage and pounce on the drivers ahead of them.
Yeah, Drunken Monkey had a bit of a moment and he finds himself at the back of the pack now. Unfortunate for Hyox 24, he had a really good qualifying session and could have possibly had a really good race, would have counted for a lot in the constructors fight as well. They're only a point away from the likes of McLaren, and both the McLaren boys are still out on track, so not the greatest of days for the in-game Ferrari team out at Imola.
VSC is gone, and look at this, Sarthak. We have a 3-way fight brewing for P1. Dub, KDB and Big Man Joe all lining within half a second of each other. Envy now joins them just right close behind them.
And yeah, Big Man Joe, he's just gonna wait as KDB goes in to the pits to serve his drive-through. I presume Derp incredibly close to the wall, trying his best to make sure Big Man Joe doesn't get what he needs going into turn 1, even an ounce of speed of sorts. But yeah, Big Man Joe will hold back, but his real threat is Envy, isn't it? He's gonna come charging soon enough.
Yep, unless if these drivers can keep it clean and work together to pull through the gap and just make it through for this first stint and then come back again for the second stint. It's a long race, 32 laps of Imola. We're just into lap 3 now.
Yeah, Sickling might have just made a mistake or two because Vex almost finds himself alongside him. Yes, they are side by side as they go through sector 2, I presume, and there's contact and he's sent spinning. He's sent spinning, and the stewards are gonna take a look at that. I'm sure we've had a retirement in sector 2. That was nasty. I really hoped it was a clean fight into the next corner, but unfortunate second retirement in lap 3.
Yep, no safety car or VSC caller just here. Looks like the marshals in game are pretty happy with what's going on. However, we do have another guy dropping out of the space. Avi looks like had a moment in Aqua Minerali and he is spinning as well. RB fellow KDB, who are at the back, also seems to have been caught up in that incident.
Yeah.
Something might have gone at the back and we might have just missed it very slightly.
Yeah, either way, it's 65-6 and KDB find themselves going wheel to wheel, much like they did back in Season 3, but it's 65-6, conceding a position to KDB, who will be looking to make that climb all the way from the back. I think
we have a fight for P1. Big Man Joe making a move on Dub, who has a poor running to turn for, but Dub just keeps it ahead for time being. Oh, there we go. What a beautiful battle brewing there.
Opportunity, says Envy as he closes in onto the gearbox of Big Man Joe. So, three-way fight, a proper three-way fight. Maybe Vex can get into it as well as Big Man Joe looks down the inside yet again. But no, he won't attempt anything. And now he's threatened for position. Envy is close behind, closer than ever.
Yep. And that 3-man fight might just turn into a 4 or 5-man fight if they do not keep it clean and respectable up front. They might just be tripping over each other and losing time. That's not what they would like to have to do, isn't it, Sarthak? And
yeah, definitely.
Looks like penalties are starting to rack up here. It's a pretty difficult track to nail. Track limits are
retirement.
Left and right. Oh, we have a retirement, Sarthak.
Yep, we do. Hopefully we can get a glimpse of it. Yes, on the right hand side, we did see it in Sector 2. Gambler is out of the race. An unfortunate crash for him. And safety car.
Full safety car is out. That might just entice some of the soft runners to box and go for the mediums or hards till the end. Streeter on his debut boxes as well, and unfortunately picks up a 5-second penalty for spinning into the pit lane. Let's have a look at these drivers who are boxing for the early lap. Envy is in and goes onto the mediums. Same for UT and Streeter. So Streeter is having a wing change, presumably hitting the pit entry there. Unfortunate for him, but he will make it out on the hards till the end.
Yeah, Envy was the first one in as a no-brainer, and UT followed close behind. This is going to be interesting because Envy comes out alongside Mr. KDB.
Yep, KDB, who had to serve his drive-through penalty, is now just behind Envy. Were both lining up in P11 and 12 respectively. Up ahead though, the Big Man Joe and Mr. Wax electing to stay out. Perhaps it's too early for their liking to box onto the mediums.
Yeah.
That might just come to help them at the end of the race where they will have fresher tires. Presumably there's no other safety car or VSC to be called out.
Yeah. With 5 laps only done, I think we'll be calling that a bit too early. But I should divert your attention to Horning. 10 positions gained in 5 laps. Isn't that something? With all the chaos that's happening.
And running on the mediums as well. I think he has definitely done a great job of keeping it clean till now. Effectively, he is the 3rd medium runner on track. And the person who shall not be named is actually the lead runner in P4 on the mediums. So let's hope he continues to do well, and we shall not speak of his name. Otherwise, he will be pointing fingers at us, Sarthak. You know what's the deal.
For sure, he will. And yeah, safety car still out, and I think at the end of this lap it'll come in. We'll see drivers weaving as much as they can, trying to get into their tires as we continue on the safety car. Unfortunate to see 3 drivers retire so early on into the race, especially Hyrox 24 for that matter, and that battle which could have been between Sicknig and Mr. Wex will be taken a look at, I'm sure. Gamler, we don't really know what really happened. Hopefully Richu can join us soon enough and give us a bit of insight on that. But yeah, they got their teammates out on track, and hopefully they're helping them constantly to do better in the rest of the race. Derp leads.
Yep, speaking of teammates there, Sarthak, P6 and P8, have a look at it. McLaren sandwiching the Alfa Romeo here. So the McLaren team has done pretty well as well to keep it clean till now. And they might just be looking to play hand in hand and cover each other off, or even attack the drivers ahead. So good team play coming in for the McLaren boys.
Yep, I'm 100% sure. McLaren and Alfa Romeo, 6 points is the difference between them, and in between McLaren and Alfa Romeo in the constructors title, we've got Aston Martin, who's a good 3 points behind as well. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's running through their heads as we speak. Safety car still out. Big Man Joe, he'll have his eyes set on the safety car restart, won't he?
Yep, speaking of safety car restart, here it is. Safety car will be called in at the end of this lap. Derp, once again, will take the lead of a safety car restart. Perhaps it might just be a little bit cautious. Maybe he just wants to pull off a gap. Oh, and we have some
Incidents?
incidents there under safety car. Looks like some collisions between Baby Shumi, Cuba, Abi as well.
And yeah, they picked up a 5-second penalty as well in the process.
Yep, drivers just perhaps not taking cautiously or aware on track. But regardless of that, I think the safety car restart is going to be an interesting one. Big Man Joe might just be looking to line up for a move on Dub. Dub gets a pretty good exit there. Pulls out a 1-second gap already on Big Man Joe. And away Dub goes. Mr. Wax as well, perhaps just a little bit caught up in the restart.
And UK is
What's
closing
happening
in.
at the back?
Yeah, UK is closing in on Mr. Wex. He's got the shortest gap between two drivers, but way back in the midfield. Envy, he breaks just in time, avoiding a collision with KDB. He's P11, and he's got KDB and Drunken Monkey in his side. Cuba Robbie did head into the pits. He's going to come out on a fresh set of hards. It's lap number 7, and it's racing all around out on Imola.
Yep, KDB goes for a dive into the Toza hairpin, side by side on the exit with Drunken Monkey. The soft tire still working well for KDB. He tries to go for a move into Peratella, but no, this is gonna be a one-file move. Drunken Monkey keeps the track position for now, but KDB, look at it, he's right on Drunken Monkey's gearbox. And just up ahead, we have a collision between
yeah.
RB Fellow and UK.
Unfortunately, I don't know how these three are still fighting it out as they go past the collision contact between Drunken Monkey and Horning. It's all over again. It's Bahrain all over again. But then again, Bahrain is not considered, but out on track at Imola, it's KDB who's still cautiously waiting. Drunken Monkey somehow got past Horning. Will be taken a look at by the stewards, I'm sure. But yeah, UK finds himself down in P9.
Yep. And onto the pit straight now. KDB looking like he's making a charge on Drunken Monkey and Horning. Horning goes side by side with Drunken Monkey into turn 1. Let's learn about with KDB and see. And no, Horning just not alongside enough to make the move stick. But KDB sensing an opportunity here goes for a move around the outside of Horning and doesn't make it work as well. This track is just a little too tight for two wide moves, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely it is. As we can see, lap after lap, these three go head-to-head. And I think the incident that took place did involve Mr. Wex as well. He finds himself down in P16. So Baby Shumi, for the first time running in a podium position, right behind his good friend Big Man Joe up in front. Gouts finds himself P4. But let's stay on board with these three battling it out for the positions. KDB tries out around the outside, contact between him and Horning as well. Somehow, neither has had an incident, and KDB will wiggle in front of Horning. Managed to get through somehow and pulls away.
Drunken Monkey looks like he had a bad exit coming out of the Villeneuve chicane down into Rivanza. KDB goes around the outside. Drunken Monkey late defense move, runs onto the gravel. KDB gets it at the exit of Rivanza 2, and KDB is into P5 now. But Drunken Monkey, crucially, is within the towing range of KDB. KDB scrapes the wall with Drunken Monkey around the outside. This is a spectacle to watch side by side into turn 1. Who will yield? And looks like neither has, and KDB still maintains his position.
So close.
So close, indeed.
It almost seemed like there was an incident about to happen, and Horning and Envy come close behind Drunken Monkey as well. So they're not going anywhere either. Horning in a fight of his own as Envy falls behind. Unfortunate, but yeah, this three-way battle just gets better and better.
Yep, up ahead though, Big Man Joe closing it slightly. Oh, we have a little Spinala there from the Alfa Romeo, which was Derp. He's out of the lead now, and Big Man Joe inherits the lead. Derp has a moment, and Aqua Mineral drops into P3 now, and Gouts senses an opportunity to steal the podium right away. Gouts is closing up to Derp very, very quickly. Let's have a look on them. Very, very close. Derp defending for his life down into Rivanza 1. Gouts will get into the DRS, will probably look to make a move into turn 1. Derp struggling, might just call it a day and pit right now. Looks like it, and Derp does pull into the pit lane, releases Gouts into P3.
And we're only on lap number 10, folks. To think this is even happening as we speak. Derp heads into the pits. He had mentioned how he might just have to retire earlier on into the race itself, and I think it's come to that time, but we'll find out eventually. Of course, the gaps are extending all around, but I think it's Vix356 closing in on KDB's teammate UT for the fight for P9.
Yep, Envy as well has boxed surprisingly. Streeter as well looks like they might have got caught in incidents. Both of them getting front wing changes and tire changes. Envy onto the hards will look to go till the end.
Yeah, and
up
down the
front, though,
inside, X356 peaks, and UT defends as much as he can. I don't think there was contact, and UT stays ahead somehow. They got Mr. Wex closing in on them as well. X356 is going to attempt to find a gap soon enough. Yet again in Sector 2, perhaps he tries his best to keep it on the gearbox of UT. This is going to count for everything in the constructors. But yeah, UT manages to stay ahead, and X356 has a bad exit in Sector 2, and it is what it is. UT pulls away.
Yep, UT also definitely having a little bit more ERS here to defend, and is starting to catch up to P8 up ahead. P8 7-6 in a train of their own, and UT might just be doing well. And his teammate is actually leading the train up in P4. KDB on the soft tires, making gains onto the top 3 right now.
Yeah, Drunken Monkey close behind KDB as well.
And there is a McLaren that is going Spinala at Aku Minerali. It is Cuba Abi who loses some positions there, coming out of the hard. So the hard tire is definitely not firing up just quickly yet. And immediately right behind him is Streeter, the rookie on fresh mediums, is looking to get within DRS of Cuba Abi and launch an attack into turn 1 perhaps.
Yep. But it's the McLaren of Gods up ahead in P3. He's going to be probably eventually time for position by KDB. But not anymore. But KDB has a fight of his own right now with Drunken Monkey. Well within half a second of him. Abi Ferro picks up the fastest lap on lap number 11. But it won't stand for long, I'm sure.
Yep. And look at that train just forming from P3 onwards, P4 onwards, my bad. KDB, Drunken Monkey, Honing, Avi, UK, UT, BRL, Vix, Mr. Wex. It's a long train for a lot of positions over there, Sarthik. One of them, if they make a mistake, they're going to be losing a lot of positions. It's going to be very costly, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is just as costly as the game crashing as we speak. So it'll be all comms only for a while as I make my way back into the lobby.
Yes, no worries, but it looks like KDB and Drunken Monkey are going for some side-by-side battles. Drunken Monkey gets a hit. Just for now, KDB preserves his P5, but Drunken Monkey running low on battery keeps the P4 for the time being up into Tosa hairpin. Drunken Monkey just gets a better exit with that aging mediums against KDB's aging softs. So Trias might just be coming into the play at the end of this stint. And Drunken Monkey might just pull away slightly, but look at this train, it's forming. One of them shall blink and the other will lose a position. And Sector 3 right sub yellow as another McLaren Gouts runs white at the Villeneuve chicane out of Aku Minerali as well. And that loses him some time, but another yellow flag is being waved over here. Mr. Vex now loses position. He's down into P11. Mr. Vex, who's on the old soft tires, might just want to call it a stint on this softs and jump onto the mediums for the rest of the race. Drunken Monkey has retired from the race and something happened there. Let's ride on board with someone. Let's see what happened. It looks like it might have just been an incident into the pit lane. It might have just been that. And the full safety car has been called out, so which is a master stroke by whoever's leading in front. Big Man Joe though, and Baby Shumi, who has not pitted just yet, might just be lucky enough to pit in the next lap and still come out ahead in the lead.
Yeah, unfortunate to see Drunken Monkey retire though. It really seemed like he was having a good day out on track, battling with the likes of KDB and Horning, brilliant drivers of Bwoah Racing League. But yeah, everything's falling in place for some of the drivers out on track. Big Man Joe leads this race, Baby Shumi close behind, and Gouts, Horning, Avi, UK, Derp follow, and KDB and Derp find themselves to battle it out.
Yep,
Battle for
KDB
position soon enough.
Yep, KDB has boxed the first driver to box onto the hard, so he will be the driver to chase down the top 7. Perhaps he can gain a position under safety car conditions. Let's see if he can manage to stay within Delta and catch up to the safety car. Let's see. Big Ben Joe now, the leader, is into the pits, and he's definitely going to get rid of that softs, isn't he? And onto the mediums he goes, and this will definitely take him till the end. Baby Shumi as well is into the pit lane. Gouts next stays out on that old aging medium, so he will be definitely vulnerable at the end of this stint as well. Avi stays out as well. Horning is now into the pits. So interesting choices being made here by some of the medium runners, choosing not to pit and perhaps just go a little bit longer, expecting another safety car in the race.
Yep. Gouts leads this race. It's the first time he leads a race ever since Hungary in season 3. So yeah, I think there's a grin on his face for now. But a podium, if he manages to get it, it'll be his first podium as well. We're still a bit early on into the race itself. We haven't even reached the half point of the race. We're still on lap number 14, aren't we?
Yep. By the time we will get to the end of the safety car, it might just be half race to go. And as it stands, Gouts and Avi P1 and 2, but crucially on all medium tires here. Big Man Joe on the freshest medium tires right behind them will be looking to get the positions out of them very quickly. Dub, who unfortunately had a spin, had to box much earlier, somehow is keeping his P4 for now. Baby Shumi is up into P5, Horning up into P6, KDB, Envy in P7 and 8. So every driver now has a chance. It's time for redemption, isn't it? To prove that they have something to show off in the second half of the race.
Yeah, and I think that's Dub's AI, so we might as well not consider his position running in the game. Unfortunate to see his AI out on track. We'd expect him to retire from this session. Clearly he did not, so that might just incur a penalty or two. But yeah, if during safety car restarts is when the AI cause problems, usually like we saw in one of the races in the past. Let's hope that doesn't happen out on track this time around.
Yep, thankfully his car is ghosted, so there would not be any incidents of such. Then speaking of Dub, long life Dub, and he is back into the lobby. So Dub might just be surprised that he's still keeping P4 after all these shenanigans that happened around while he was away.
Yeah, Marquez is still in the race, of course. If he can manage to pull it home, all the way till the end of the race, this will be the first full race he's run in the Bwoah Racing League. And yeah, it's amazing how some of the drivers were running in podium positions find themselves at the back of the pack with the likes of Mr. Wex, and even UK for that matter was awfully close to the podium positions, and they find themselves battling for position 10 and 11 respectively. Dub falls a position. I think he's just taking it slow through that corner. But yeah, Gauss leads this race. Lap number 15. You think they can keep it clean, Darwin? You think everybody can stay put? We've had 4 retirements already.
Well, Gouts and Avi will be the first ones to look out for their front wings and even rear wings, I must say, because right behind them is Big Manjo and Dub on fresher medium tires. So if anything, I think the front two has to be really careful not to cause any incidents for the drivers behind. But speaking of other drivers behind as well, everyone else is on fresher tires compared to the front two. So Gouts and Avi, they'll have their efforts cut short in a lap or two to come.
Yeah, interesting strategy coming through from the Williams boys. UK is on fresh softs, while his teammate just pit for fresh hards.
Yep, split of strategies there.
Yep.
Definitely, I think UK might be just looking to gamble on another safety car or VSC later into the race, while his teammate definitely wants to go till the end, take no risk, and go till the end on the hard, safe and sound. Might just secure them some good amount of points today.
Yeah, awkward to see Dub in front of Big Man Joe. It was the other way around, if I presume, just a moment ago. But on lap number 16, the safety car still staying out. I'm surprised. But yeah, hopefully at the end of this lap, the safety car goes back in. Abi Ferrero finds himself in P14, yet another challenge for him to make it up through the pack itself. 3-second time penalty for Marquez after multiple warnings, not something you want to rack up, especially when you're one of 2 drivers are on track to pick up a penalty.
Yep, and Mad Marquez better pick up some pace as well, because this will be the last lap. Safety car stays out, so he has to catch up to the pack, otherwise he will be losing a lot on the start here. And the other driver, Streeter, is catching up to the pack as well, so he is safe for now. So pretty much 15 out of the 16 running drivers has rejoined the pack, and we will be getting started very, very soon. Looks like it. Safety car at the end of Sector 2 towards Aqua Minerale. Gouts and Avi will be looking to at least get away safely without being attacked by Dub and Big Man Joe for our first 2 or 3 laps.
How long do you think they can survive unless there's an incident behind? Not for long for sure. But yeah, Gouts safety first, very first for Gouts with the safety car restart, and safety car will go in this lap. So the battle on the main straight is what I'm looking for between Gouts and Avi. The previous safety car restart, we saw Dub pull away incredibly with that brilliant 1 second gap.
Yep, Gouts and Avi though have to remember that if they trip each other up, Dub and Big Major and the rest of the crew will be there to pounce on their position. So as much as they want to fight for positions, I think it's better for Gouts and Avi to, sort of work hand in hand to get a good exit. And it looks like, Gouts is leaving it very, very late until the last moment to accelerate, and Avi is straight away on his case. Dub as well.
Yeah, here comes Dub. Big Man Joe still quite behind. Avi trying to keep it as close to Gouts as he can as they go through Sector 1. Dub watching carefully. He knows Avi will be forced into a mistake of sorts as he lines up alongside him and down the inside. Should be able to get the move down. Up in a P2 he goes. And Big Man Joe closes in on Avi and picks off a position as well. He's up in a P3 as they go side by side in the next corner. And just like that, he's up in a P3. Avi losing traction as well. Contact between 2 drivers there. Horning and KDB, I presume. And they've crashed. No front wing. And a retirement for Horning.
Yep, Horning unfortunately now out of the race as well, which promotes the other drivers up a few positions. But unfortunate for Avi though, as he has been losing positions from the restart. Gouts still lucky to give his position, but Dub, look at that, he's just right on the gearbox into the chicane. So much more grip from the fresher tires. Gouts will be vulnerable at the start of the next straight. Big Man Joe looks like he wants to join the party. Baby Shumi is not far off either.
Yeah, and at the back of the pack, I think there was a bit of glitching happening with RB Ferrero. Unfortunate for him, but I think he's fine now. But must divert your attention to UK, who's within attacking range of Vic C56 that they go side by side.
Already attacking and side by side. There they go.
Oh, contact as well, but somehow they keep it on track. Both drivers haven't gone off track. I don't know how that worked, but UK goes up in an upper position. No, they stay side by side. He's sent spinning. Wixley 5-6 tumbles down the order.
Yep, that definitely was an audacious move performed by UK, who was, to his merits, he was on the soft tires, wants to get ahead of everyone else who were on the harder tires. But that just means that BRL Wicks comes up worse, given that he is on the hard tires, lacking the grip there, and he's just gonna recover now and hope for some miracle there.
Yeah, but Dub, all eyes on Dub as he stays on the gearbox almost of Gouts. So does Envy on Avi. So clearly both drivers who managed to stay out on the 17 lap old mediums, clearly not working out for them. Gouts somehow manages to keep the race lead, and on the main straight he might just lose it. Drivers switching position in the midfield. It's Vex and UT as they go wheel to wheel, and Vex was pushed off as well, and Vex is coming back for his position as he stays on the gearbox of UT. Doesn't contact, however UK is off track as they pass by him, and DRS has been enabled, and Dub gets what he needs as he goes side by side with Gouts, but Big Man Joe coming for the position as well. Dub leads this race. Gouts stays close second, and Big Man Joe P3.
Yep, as all the drama was unfolding up front, at the back though, Man Marquez DNF after spin here right at this section at turn 4 and 5, and Dub has gone off as well. This corner is catching everybody out today.
What's happened here? Dub, he's stumbling down the order. He tries to rejoin back onto track. He rejoins back in P10.
Yep, Gouts somehow, out of all his shenanigans, still keeps the lead on his worn tires here.
Yep. Somehow it's working out for him on lap number 19 on 18 lap old mediums. Big Man Joe seems set to pick off that position just like Dub did a lap ago, as he stays close behind to Gouts. Gaps close to other drivers is Streeter to Kubarabi, and a kind of a train forming in the midfield with Vex, Kubarabi and Streeter.
Yep, I don't want to miss this move for P1. Big Man Joe lining up Gouts.
Yeah, but
coming
it's-
out of rebuttal too.
Yeah, but side by side in the midfield as well, Kuberabi and Streeter. But back to the front of the pack is Big Man Joe. Lines up alongside him, as you said, Dalvin.
Yep, side by side they go. Big Man Joe with the DRS and also more battery power to deploy. Takes the lead into turn 1, well ahead of Gouts. Gouts will settle into P2 now. Envy and Baby Shumi are approaching him very quickly.
Yeah. Baby Shumi somehow keeps it in the top 5. Isn't that crazy? Okay,
There is a bit of a collision between Kuberabi there and Streeter there. A fight for P8.
Yeah.
Side by side into turn 4. Will they come out? How will they end up? And they make it through safe and sound for once. I think there was an incident avoided.
Yeah, Derp and Abi Ferrello closing in as well. They almost found themselves going side by side too. But yeah, Derp should be able to get Kuberabi soon enough. So let's stay on board. Derp up ahead. Big Man Joe pulls away with a 1.5 second lead. And Envy closes in on Gouts.
Yep, and looks like Gouts on the medium, all medium tires. The gamble is not paying off at the moment. He might just have to hope for a miracle to happen for him to have a cheap pit stop or even a free pit stop. But as it looks, it's not going in their favor.
Yeah, contact between Derp and Kuberabi, but Kuberabi picks up 3-second time penalty after multiple warnings. Another driver out on track with a penalty. Big Man Joe sets the fastest lap time, 3-second time penalty for KDB as Envy makes the move, doesn't make the move, but gets the P2 off of Gouts as he goes into pits after 20 laps on the mediums.
Yep, Derp there here lining up a move on P8 for Kuberabi. Side by side they go. Derp gets the move done. RB Fellow is next to attack Kuberabi. Is he close enough? But no, close but no cigar for RB Fellow. He will be looking to get the move done in the coming corners. Derp now inherits the P8. Attacking right up next to him is P7 Streeter, the rookie who is also making his debut today.
Yeah, let's quickly jump to Wex, who's side by side his teammate, or perhaps even let through by his teammate rather easily as he takes the charge to UT.
Yeah, definitely some team orders there. Avi on 20 lap old mediums compared to Vex's 7 laps old mediums. So definitely team play coming there. Vex now is released to chase after UT, who's still on the hard tires. The hards may not be the fastest at this stage. The mediums definitely working better for the runners currently.
Yeah, Kuberabi and Abi Ferrero find themselves side by side. Both seem to be glitching as they go into the corner. I don't know if there has been contact, but yeah, clearly not the greatest of sights to see as a spectator. Kuberabi somehow holds on to that P9.
Yep, Avi now under attack from Streeter. Will Avi pull into the pits or will he be under attack from Streeter and Derp? And looks like Avi is still staying out and he might just get swallowed by Streeter and Derp over here. Derp looking to get another position as well. Can he make the move? Stick on Avi? Yes he does. Streeter and Derp up into P6 and 7 respectively. Avi down 2 positions there.
Yeah, with the way Dub's going, he'll be able to pick out Streeter soon enough. They're in a DRS train of sorts, these 3 cars. Gouts did come out,
Wex
however.
runs wide there, and Streeter picks off another position. Derp picks up another position as well. Mr. Wex down into P7. His teammate, who gave him some positions, now has to stare at the back of Mr. Wex.
That was unusual, wasn't it? Like, you wouldn't see Wex lose 2 positions within a corner, in fact. Very unusual of Mr. Wex, but I guess that's how the race is sometimes. 10 laps left for the race itself as Derp closes in on Streeter and down the inside. He should be able to get it done. No, he holds back. Didn't have quite what he needed, and Streeter's going to hold on to P5 that much longer. Mr. Wex is coming for position, however. He's well on the gearbox of Derp. Up ahead, Big Man Joe has a solid 2-second gap to Envy, so nothing's changed there. Gouts came out in P11 right behind his teammate, and seems like we've had a disconnection, unfortunately, with Derp, so I think Mr. Wex should be able to get their position soon enough.
Derp clocks in the fastest lap, however, it is glitch. And Avi now, finally, after 23 laps on the old mediums, dives into the pits. Derp seems to have disconnected once again, and Streeter and Mr. Wex make it through into P5 and 6. It's a long train there, forming from P5 all the way down to P8 and even now P9. Kuberabi is joining in soon.
Yeah, Victory 5-6 picks up a 3-second time penalty. Unfortunate to see another driver picking up a penalty, but UK finds himself being clean today and in P11.
Yep, he was at one point in contention for the podium with that P4 earlier. However, incidents on the safety car race that has demoted him down into P11. Up ahead, UT and Baby Shumi are within a second of each other. RB Feller and Mr. Wax are trading positions into the Villeneuve chicane. RB Ferrello in P6. Now Mr. Wax is attacking him. Dubs AR is there as well. And Streeter, out of all this, somehow managed to pull away the gap while the guys behind are squabbling over the positions.
And yeah, one mistake and Mr. Wax could be possibly back in P6. But as it stands, RB Ferrello holds on to that position, and I don't think Vex will be able to execute a move on the main straight. Lap number 24 and Big Man Joe leads this race comfortably. And yeah, I'm just surprised as ever that Baby Shumi, imagine the amount of improvement he's been able to make between Season 4 and Season 5, that he finds himself running a podium position rightfully by merit.
Yep, and right behind him is a fast driver as well to test his podium. UT up into P4 within a second and a half of Baby Shumi, both on equally edged hard tires, will go till the end. NB now, P2 as well, chasing after Big Man Joe, getting ever so close at every level. Big Man Joe able to hold off, and we at the closing stages. It's gonna unravel in a few laps time.
Yeah, closest gap on track, however, still Mr. Wex and RB Ferrello as they go through Sector 2. 3-second time penalty for Kuberabi. He racks up. We've had 6 retirements in the race already, with 14 drivers out on track on lap number 24. Who's going to come out on top? We'll find out on lap number 32, won't we? Big Man Joe leads this race, and that gap seems pretty solid. Envy's trying his best to close that gap. But yeah, it's been in the 1.7 range for a while now, hasn't it?
Yep, the hard tires will definitely come in a bit stronger towards the end of the race, but it's only seven odd laps remaining into the race. The mediums will definitely take it till the end without losing performance against the hards. So it will be a battle towards the end for both of these. Mr. Vax now trying his best to close up on RB Fellow, but not close enough. RB Fellow holds off the P6 for another lap.
And yeah, as the gaps only extend as we speak, let's bring up the penalties and see how much they're going to play at the end of the race. 6 seconds for the likes of Kuberabi, who's ahead of his teammate. Not the greatest of things you'd like to see. 5 seconds each for the likes of UTA and RB Ferrello.
Yep, presuming that are speeding into the pit lane penalties that might not be removed. However, if those are other incidents, definitely they will be reporting it to the stewards. But as it stands, these penalties will drop them some position. UT has lost some position.
He's spun.
Yes, he has spun and he's down into P7 now. And right behind him is Cuba RB. Just quickly catch him and he can see a position. UT looks like he wants to get the race over as well on the hard tires. May not be the best tires for now. It looks like he's recovering just well enough.
Yeah, and that gap between RB Ferrello and Mr. Wex that seemed like it was within 1 second has somehow transferred on to RB Ferrello and Streeter now. And yeah, Vex has fallen behind over 2 seconds. And RB Ferrello closing in on the likes of Streeter.
Yep, RB Fellow with the TRS. Look at that, 25 kph more than Streeter. That's just the power of the DRS and a toe. And looks like RB Fellow is not waiting. He just thought of a move and thought better of it. And looks to get a cutback into turn 5. Does he go for a move? No, he thinks better of it as well. Keeps Streeter on his toes every single corner. That's how RB Fellow is playing this right now.
And yeah, the positions will remain the same for now on lap number 26. However, Envy's closing in. It's down to the 1.4 second range now between him and Big Man Joe, who leads this race coming across Sector 3.
Yep, right on board on the rear view camera of Streeter. It looks wonderful looking at the chasing car RB Fellow pushing ever so hardly to get closer and closer to Streeter up in front. Streeter just having the slight battery advantage to keep the to keep ahead, but RB Fellow now seems to be much closer than the previous laps. Less than 5 tenths the gap. RB Fellow might be looking to make a move on Streeter this lap. He's gaining, he's halfway down the straight. RB Fellow is gaining, he pulls to the inside and to the outside. And will he make the move stick? RB Fellow around the outside.
Contact?
Does not, and there's a bit of a contact. RB Fellow though keeps his car on the track. Streeter survives for another lap. Interesting battle by these two boys.
Yeah, contact him forced onto the sausage curbs. And unfortunate for RB Ferrero, but he'll come back fighting yet again. 1.5 second gap, but 3 second time penalty for Envy, who's running P2. That's gonna hurt him at the end, won't it?
Yep, unless he can make a move on Big Man Joe and pull out 3 seconds, which may not be possible at this stage, given that these two drivers are running at their maximum pace. But Big Man Joe seems to be losing some edge on the old tires here. Envy's hard tires are looking like it's becoming better and better, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Let's go to KDB, who's driving in P12. It almost seemed like there was a battle lined up for us between Dup and KDB. Then Dup's still on his AI, so not the greatest things out there to see. But yeah, like we said, all positions award points, which means finishing means so much more. Let's go back to RB Ferrello, who closes in on Streeter.
Another attempt. Here we go. RB Ferrello now draining all his battery. Still not getting close enough, but he is looking like he might want to just attack once again. Maybe it looks like he's going for the same move again, and he is slightly ahead into turn 1. RB Ferrello gets the move done on Streeter and is up into P4. Well done by RB Ferrello. What a move that was. Second time was the charm.
Yeah, exactly what you want to see from the likes of RB Ferrero, who's known to be an incredibly strong driver in the Bwoah Racing League. Finds himself closer than ever to the podium position. Maybe still a long shot.
Baby Shumi now has to contend for the podium with RB Ferrello, who is charging through the ranks. And RB Ferrello can see the podium position just slightly of him. However, unfortunately for RB Ferrello, he will have to carry that 5 second penalty, but that will be reviewed at the end if it's raced. So for now, RB Ferrello definitely wants to get into the podium position. Baby Shumi, who has been running very quietly up till now, will have his hands full for the next 5 laps. 4.5 laps to go.
Yeah, and we talk about RB Ferrello. His teammate picks up a 3 second time penalty. Vix356, who's running in P14. Of course, no matter how many penalties, he's getting points today in P14. As long as he finishes the race, of course. Big Man Joe's gap to Envy down to the 1.2 seconds range and reducing incredibly as we speak.
Yep, laps are running out for Envy to make a move and perhaps even pressure Big Man Joe into a mistake and pick up a penalty of his own. So, the gap is not coming as fast as we hope. Perhaps the soft tires, the medium tires definitely keeping their edge for now, but Envy ever so close and cuts off 2 more tenths in this lap.
And yeah, Streeter's trying his best to close in on RB Ferrello, who's closing in on Baby Shumi himself. Oh, within a second of Big Man Joe now, Envy. So, main straight, on the start-finish straight, we might just see things unravel for the race lead itself. A bit earlier than we expected, Dalvin.
Yep. And might be just the right time for Envy to get within DRS of Big Man Joe, save up a little bit more battery and perhaps launch it in the last lap or two. Envy definitely treating the Tifosis, the Italian fans here with the home race. And now Envy within DRS gains that extra bit of speed down the straight. 20 kph extra gives you about 4 to 5 tenths down the straight, and Envy has closed down the gap to just 2 tenths in the braking zone. Next time Envy might just be in striking distance.
It's a 5 to the finish between these two as we are down to the last 2 laps of the race.
Baby Shumi is under attack from RB Ferrello for P3. RB Ferrello goes down the inside and he looks like he wants to take the P3 away. Baby Shumi has lost the P3. RB Ferrello now up into the podium position.
Brilliant stuff. RB Ferrello started in P20. Look at Envy. He's closing in. He's within half a second of Big Man Joe now on lap number 30. And he's got ample amount of time before the end of the race to get a move done or even pressure Big Man Joe to a mistake. Big Man Joe just has to keep it clean. He's known for it, but can he do it for the next 2 laps? Sector 3 lights up yellow. I wonder what's happened there.
It looks like it is BRL Wicks who has run slightly wide but recovers safely. And now it's about to be lapped by Big Man Joe. This might just be a saving grace for Big Man Joe, who will pick up DRS from BRL Wicks. Will Big Man Joe survive this attack from Envy? Let's ride on board with both of these drivers. It looks like Big Man Joe has got DRS from the lap car, and he might just survive this one more lap.
And that's all he needs to survive, some would say, as long as he gets a back marker on the next lap as well. Contact between the two to the next lap. Envy somehow keeps it clean. Still within half a second of Big Man Joe on lap number 31. Goes a tad bit wide, and that will extend beyond a half a second for now.
Yep, looks like down below, Kubabi is now on the attack from UK. Looks like UK wants to get that P9 away from Kubabi. Kubabi is out of DRS from his teammate up ahead. UK jinx to the left, jinx to the right, looks for a position to go in, dives down the inside in the left side, breaks later than Kubabi. Kubabi has to yield the position. UK up into P9. What a recovery drive from him.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from the likes of UK, and wonderful to see him doing well there. And within half a second, I can't get my eyes off of this battle, but Wex closing in on the likes of Streeter as well. So battle all around on the penultimate lap and the final lap, I'm sure.
Yep, 2 laps to go. Everyone is going to just let loose of all the pace, and Mr. Wex taps the rear of Streeter and has gone for a half spin. UT now might just pick up the position from Mr. Wex here.
Oh, main straight, Big Man Joe Envy yet again. Final lap. Envy's closing in around the outside. He will try, and side by side as they go in the corner, Envy's coming out, winning that fight. He's into the race lead on the final lap.
Yeah, but crucially though, can he pull out a 3-second gap in the last lap though? Big Man Joe will be playing the smart game and following Envy till the end to claim the win.
Yeah, 100%. And credit to RB Ferrello. I mean, P20 to P3.
Mr. Vex now on an attack on UT. UT gets passed. UT is passed by Mr. Vex now. Mr. Vex now up into P6. UT, well, he might have thought he could have got the P6 earlier, but Mr. Vex seems like just the faster guy today.
Yeah, just does. Ooh. Battles all around on the final lap as UT closes in on Mr. Wex. I think there was contact. Wex loses a bit of pace as well. Going in the next corner, Wex will hold on to P6 for sure. But come the final lap, come the final corner, in fact, will he be able to hold on to it?
Yep. And we are approaching the last 2 corners. Yep. Envy is into the lead. Last corner, Rivatsa 1 and Rivatsa 2. Envy will cross the line in P1, but
not
looks
enough.
Like Big Man Joe will take the victory in the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. P1 goes to Big Man Joe. Envy, the home favorite, comes home in P2. And RB Fellow, take a bow, man. P20 to P3 for RB Fellow. He will come across the line to take P3 on track, but will fall down the order due to penalties. Baby Shumi will inherit the podium for the time being, and what a drive from both these drivers.
Yeah, and I think Wex had an unfortunate spin in the final corner and loses a position as well, but considering UT has penalties, that won't count for much. Gouts comes home P7, UT P8, Kuberabi P9, and P10 for UK, P11 for Avi, and KDB. I guess not the greatest of races for him as he finishes P12, but yeah, Big Man Joe is your race winner and his 8th race victory in the BRL, and RB Ferrello rightfully so, driver of the day, P20 to P3. I don't think we've said that enough.
Yep, what a drive from the Alpine driver. Great race, great recovery, and a great execution on the strategies as well. Definitely, he made the right call at the right time, and I think he's deserved that P4 for now. Well, he will definitely want to review that 5-second penalty to claim the podium away from Baby Shumi. That will come very, very soon. Sarthak, how do you feel, man? I've been panting for the last hour and a half over every action that's been on track. How do you feel?
Yeah, every race clearly proves that this season the title battle is that much closer. 3 races we've had, 3 different race winners. Envy, Derp, and now Big Man Joe's in the title fight as well. RB Ferrello is close throughout. We've seen him there. And with the likes of KDB finishing P12, I mean, whose guess is it that who will come out on top at the end of it? Who knows? Derp picked up the fastest lap, snatched it away from his title rivals as well. But yeah, it's brilliant to see Big Man Joe on the top step of the podium for the first time since season 3 of Abu Dhabi. So he'll be elated. It's been a long time coming. He missed out twice in season 4. So yeah, it's brilliant to see Baby Shumi picking up his very first podium in the league as well.
Yep. And folks, that's the end of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, the Imola Grand Prix as we like to know it. What a treat has it been. This circuit always been a fan favorite, a classic as well, and it has served us a treat today. Battles every lap, every corner, and I think we can end it there as well, Satak. I think I'm starting to run out of breath, and we might just need an emergency team right near me if I don't stop talking.
Of course. Folks, that's a wrap. Cheers, Davin. See you again on the next race.
Okay, folks. Goodbye.